everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be doing a review on the Lady Dior. I've got a timeless version and I also have one of the newer ones. This is the Lady Dior Supple from 2017. I'm going to start with the timeless version. You can get the Lady Dior in 4 different sizes in the timeless. Timeless is basically the classic version. It comes in either patent or non-patent, gold or silver hardware. They all have the same strap on them that you can remove, so you can wear it like over one shoulder. It's too short to wear it crossbody, but you can wear it over one shoulder. And the timeless is what they have been making for over 15 years. I think it first came out in 1995 or maybe 1997. I personally hate buying handbags that are trend pieces. If money was no object, I probably would. But I can't stand it when you save up that money and you go and buy something and then after the season's complete or even after the year, the designer stops making it and it becomes dated. You don't really feel like you want to use it and it's a struggle to sell as well because it's dated and it's old and they're not making it anymore. Very few people are going to want it. So I really like buying classic pieces that have been around for ages. I know that this time next year I can dig out this bag and it will still be a cool bag. So I think the timeless is a pretty good one to go for. When it comes to resale value, I don't rate these as highly as Chanel or Hermes, and I think that is in part because of the price increases. Chanel's pricing increases, well, they go up quite quickly and they tend to go up by quite a lot, and I always use the example of the Chanel Jumbo, which I looked to get in 2007, and that was 1,790 at the time. It's now 4,450, whereas with the Dior's, they go up a lot slower. So I bought this for £2,400 in 2015. This is now 2,950, so it's not gone up that much in the time period, and that I believe is the reason why these don't do so well when it comes to resale. But I think these do really well when it comes to buying a safe bag that is classic, that they're always going to make, that you can always dig out and wear it and you're always going to feel good in it. The 4 different sizes that you can get these in are mini, small. Now the small one is actually called My Lady Dior, and that's the one that you can customize. Out of all of the timeless versions, it is the only one that comes as standard with a thicker strap, and you can pick customizable little badges that go on it. You've then got the next size up, which is this. This used to be known as the small. It's kind of confusing. When I bought this bag in 2015, there was nano, which is now the mini size. There was this, which was called the small, from memory, and then there was a much bigger one that was the large. So there was 3 sizes. Out of all of them, I prefer this size. It is practical, but it's still small enough to look sweet if you want that small handbag look. It's also, I feel, a really good bag for anyone who wants to downsize, but you carry a fair bit around with you. It's not a micro bag. You can get quite a lot in it. Personally, I think if I was to get the mini or the My Dior, the small size, I have contemplated it before and I would certainly get one. I really like the look of them, but I would myself probably get the small size. The mini is so cute, but it's too small for me, and I'm someone who uses small bags. Because it's got a flap on the top as opposed to the zip version on here, because it's so small. If you had a zip, like, you'd need like a child's hand to get in and out of it. But because of that flap, it makes it very difficult to get things in it. And even with my phone, when I put my phone in it, I couldn't close the flap on the top. So the small, personally, would be the size for me, and I might consider getting that at some point. I nearly got it instead of the other bag that I'm going to show you in a second. My newest version is this, and you will notice, aside the studded detail, there is quite a lot of difference between this, which is the Lady Dior Supple, and the timeless classic Lady Dior. First of all, the font used for the Dior charms here. This is in the newer style. It's also obviously got studding all over it. It comes as standard with a thicker strap that's removable, just like the other version. It has got a flap opening at the top, which I was never someone that minded the zip closing too much. When I bought the bag, I bought into the fact that it had that. It is a little bit like doing surgery with that bag, because the space inside the Lady Dior is actually quite big. You can get a lot in it, but with the zip version, you've got to sort of like squeeze your hand into it to get anything in and out. It's okay, for me I could live with it. But since having this that's got the flap, I way prefer it. It just makes it so much easier. The other big difference with this is that it is completely squidgy all the way. It still holds its shape on the bottom though. The bottom does not sag on either of these, and there is a lot in this right now. It's very heavy, but although it's squidgy there, it doesn't give at all on the bottom. This is part of the updated collection, and when I bought it knowing that this could be a fail if ever I wanted to sell it. Because it's a jazzed up version that might only be short-lived of the Lady Dior Classic, I might end up, if I ever get to a point where I want to sell this, I might end up kind of getting stuck with it for people that prefer the classic version. I did know that at the time, but this was a bag that really kept playing on my mind. I'd seen it initially when I went with Dior to Paris in October, and I took some pictures with a version that was actually the calfskin, non-patent. And when I looked at the pictures when I got back, I thought, God, that bag, like I almost, when I saw it, some of you have said this actually to me on Instagram, because I've put up so many pictures of this, and I've had quite a few of you, and you feel exactly the way that I did when I first saw this. When I saw that bag, I didn't actually think it looked very nice, but the more I see it, the more it's growing on me. The biggest vibe that I get off everyone, and I even thought it myself, is that the nice element to this, of all of the studs, is it takes a very classic, conservative bag and it makes it quite edgy. And I love the way that it's done that, but it's still got a elegant design to it. It's just looks a lot younger and a lot more fashiony. This version only comes in 2 sizes, the same as the medium in the classic. It also comes in a larger version as well. I got this in November 2017, but at the time you could get it in black, in a tan colour, and in like a creamy white. It also comes in 2 different styles, and I should mention this. The other style you can get has got a zip opening at the top, but it's a lot more supple than this. I mean, when the lady actually put it on the counter, it was so, what's the word? It was so soft that when she put it on the counter, it almost collapsed into itself. The leather was so soft that along here it rippled, and the bag here sort of rippled as well. To me, and I don't want to offend anyone who's got this bag, this is just my opinion, it looked borderline like it had been water damaged or that it was fake. This was 3,500, so the classic version is 2,950, so there's quite a bit of difference there. On the inside, the classic Lady Dior, I'm going to try and show you through the tiny opening, but the classic Lady Dior has got an inner pocket, and can you see its fabric in there, and it's got the Dior Carnage pattern across it. This version that I've got now doesn't. It's entirely lined with a black suede. It's got the inside pocket that the Timeless version has, but it's also got one addition on the inside. On the other side of it, it's also got another pocket. Can you see how loose that leather is? Can you see the way it crinkles in? That is exactly what the other version of this bag was doing. It was so almost warped that the whole thing just collapsed inwards. So that's kind of what that looked like. Oh yeah, one final thing. If you really are just pining for the classic Timeless version, but you hate the handle, Dior sell these, not this exact one, but very similar. They sell these separately. The only annoying thing is, these are, I feel like these are over £1,000, which is quite a lot for a strap, really. But you can't buy them on their own. You can only buy them with a bag. So let's say you buy this that comes with its own strap. It's at that point they'd allow you to buy one of the straps. Now obviously if you buy a bag in this colour, they don't have all of the big straps in every colour. They've literally got them in like black and white. If I was going to say to you to only buy one, I would probably point you in this direction, because although the opening's quite annoying, I think it's livable. It's practical, and you know they're gonna make this like for for a long time, if not forever. Whereas this version, even though I feel like I love this more because it's got a more youthful, edgy look to it, because you don't know how long they're gonna do this for, this could end up being a liability if I ever wanted to sell it. So if money is no object and you just love this, get this. It is a great bag. I love the flat bit on the top of it. I love the way it looks. But if you want something that you can be safe in the knowledge you can use it long term, then get this and get it in whichever size you want. I think they all do pretty well.